Howdy folks, welcome back to the Ghost Puppet Reacts or something, and we're here for another Gojicenter video. Yeah, pretty late to this one, but better late than never, yeah. 10 brutal ways to die in Jurassic World Rebirth. This is gonna be something, yeah. But if you're wondering why I didn't have a video on the last 10 brutal ways to die, he did it in Avatar, and the reason that wouldn't happen is just because, I swear I remembered why I didn't have it, but now I forgot. God damn it. Alright, whatever. Who cares? It's not there. I did see it. I don't know why it didn't post it, but who cares? We're here for this one, okay? Anyways, I got nothing else for this intro. It's scuffed enough as it is, so we're gonna jump right into it. So let's go and do that now, shall we? Oh yeah, and I saw that Riot Reacts had a thumbnail on this video saying that Gojicenter fed him to the Jurassic World Rebirth dinosaurs, so he's probably gonna be used as a test dummy in this, which... I mean, what else? I mean, hadn't this happened before? Like, and not just the gorilla video? I don't know. So if anything, just
today on Gojicenter, we travel back to the Jurassic Universe to a new island introduced to us in the latest outing, Jurassic World Rebirth. With new creatures comes new dangers, and with new dangers comes new ways to die. So hang tight, because today on the analysis platform,
there he is. There's Riot.
In detail what happens when playing God Go.
Yeah. His clone's not about to have a good time.
Off the rails, and our own creations come back to bite us in the ass in the most gruesome ways possible.
Oh, Jesus.
This isn't for the weak, so if you have the guts to make it to the end, prove it. Smash that subscribe button.
If you don't have the guts, continue watching.
And witness, for the first time ever, 10 ways to die in 3D.
All right.
It only gets messier from here. Meet today's test.
Yeah, that is true. It is in 3D from all the clips we saw there. Usually in 2D, now we get 3D. And we have our test subject Riot here, yeah.
Subject. You may have seen him before in a previous video involving a couple angry apes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the drugs wore off from last time and he's ready to go on his next adventure. Unfortunately,
next adventure, forgot what I was going to say because I had to send a message to someone, damn it.
YouTube has become a bit soft, so we'll be switching to hologram mode every now and then for the really nasty parts.
All right, fair enough.
Here, a new volunteer and channel member of Gojicenter will manually switch on and off between modes. Without further ado, let's get started with our first simulation. Number 1, Dark Agony. Aside from getting shredded and eaten alive by a hungry theropod, perhaps the next worst thing is getting shredded and eaten alive while blinded. At least when your eyes aren't out of commission,
we're gonna see something from the... That was a paused right as I hit him on his face. Yeah, we get to see something from, you know, the Dilophosaur that didn't get to do anything in the movie then. Yeah, that'll be fun.
At least know when or where the next blow would come from. And you might even pull off a ridiculous stunt like Goin did. No, just kidding. In all likelihood, especially if you're by yourself confronted by InGen's Dilophosaur.
I keep forgetting that these things are way bigger than they were depicted in.
The lights would go off for you a lot faster and at range. Thankfully for Miss Delgado, the Dilo wasn't already all that hungry anymore and likely didn't want to deal with a big T-Rex afterwards.
What do you mean it wasn't hungry? It was scared shitless because of the giant T-Rex here. Because, you know, it was just like, nope, not risking it. Nope, not worth it.
She'd share the same fate as Nedry and his fellow spy Dodgson. So, what happened to these folks? And what would have happened to Teresa had the Dilo felt extra bold with hunger?
Probably nothing good.
Is a big fella. However, if the Dilo manages to aim at his eyes with the dark spitting venom, the burning sensation would make it difficult to see and run away. This is just the type of weapon that neutralizes something known as a fight or flight response, especially against large prey that in this case could have fought back. Riot will no longer be able to fight back effectively, nor will he be able to flee without tripping or running into something, making the Dilophosaurus effectively eat at its leisure. And here's where the agony begins. Dilophosaurus would probably start taking bites out of the softer areas like the back of the limbs, stomach,
I mean, hey, if they spin their face and they start going on the ground like hologram right here, then I mean, it's open season at that point, and he can just do whatever, like... You're pretty much done now.
And groin, consuming them while the prey is still alive. This is very similar to how some canines and hyenas kill prey taller and larger than themselves. Number 2, Duo of Death. Something interesting that many sharp-eyed
is this the two-headed raptor that was supposed to be in here? I think that's where we're trying to go with here. I haven't seen the deleted scenes. I need to look at the deleted scenes, not deleting. Holy hell, English is hard.
Observers noticed in the raptors of St. Hubert was the fact that the raptors were always in pairs, seen in both the deleted...
Never mind, I guess it's just those two, okay.
Scenes, as well as in the actual movie. Our best guess is that they may not be forming as large of packs as the other islands as a way to be more spread out, and targeting smaller prey to avoid competing with the larger carnivores and escape more notice from their mutant cousins. On one hand, that means fewer big packs to worry about, and on the other, it actually means you're pretty much guaranteed to get jumped by at least 2 velociraptors at the same time.
Yeah, which is still... I held one velociraptor is one too many.
Riot's clone number 2 will be dropped in a room with 2 of these raptors. Knocked to the ground, the claws would be gouged into the flesh to pin the test subject onto the ground. Against a human who would most definitely try to swing back, the velociraptors would incapacitate the prey by targeting the easy-to-bite body parts, such as the arms, and shred through the thicker blood vessels. Now...
Yeah, it'd be scary to fight back, like just try and throw a punch at him, because, you know, you think you're gonna be hit him, but you also run the risk of losing your arm, too, and your life, too, so it's just like, yeah, I wouldn't want to try that. And the one guy, the fat dude from Jurassic World, learned that the hard way, and he was like, don't worry, I can tame Echo or Charlie, whichever the two was in the lab at the moment. I can put my hand out and tame them. Only for it to just bite his hand off and then just, you know, just maul him to death. Yeah.
The following may seem like a very morbid piece of advice, but if anyone does ever find themselves in a situation like this, the best thing to do, and to cut the torturous process short, best give them the chance to bite the body part that will help end it sooner for you.
Yeah, Yeah, because, well... They start eating, because just like in the first movie, I don't remember the exact quote, but you're alive when they start eating you. Yeah. And, you know, I imagine getting stepped on by one of these things is already painful enough, so it's just like, just end it at that point. Just end it. I don't want to be here anymore. Just get it over with. And, like, just do that. Snap my neck or whatever. Yeah, please. Clean cut?
Clean cut. One of the most interesting and distinct cameos in Jurassic World Rebirth was that of this fella, Dunkleosteus. Now, this one in particular is a bit larger than what it actually was in real life, especially after its size got nerfed with more recent evaluations. So, what would this obviously genetically buffed Dunkleosteus be capable of in the oceans of the Jurassic Universe?
Biting?
Something like this was used to consuming other armored fish, armored animals that, if not swallowed whole, may not have their head be worth digesting due to all the bone. So if it didn't swallow anyone whole, which would mean a slow death via a combination of drowning and stomach acid, the victim would likely wind up bisected, since it would be used...
That's like gotta be like one of the worst ways to go. Just getting swallowed whole and then just suffocating to death in the stomach, like, ugh.
To biting the upper head off. Dropping Riot into our test tank here, we'll find that this bite, inflicted by jaws that act like shears, would very easily bite through Riot, who does not carry an exoskeleton around. This clean cut means the upper body, or the brain, would be conscious for a short time as the upper body sinks to the bottom while Riot sees the dunk swim away with his bottom half. This traumatizing image will become more blurry and darker very quickly, and that's the best case scenario. Otherwise, the last remaining seconds would involve enduring smaller reef sharks and carnivorous fish pecking the conscious remains. Number 4, land and strip.
Land and strip.
On this island, as a wise man once said, there is...
Land and strip. Well, considering this, I was about to say, are we talking about the pterosaurs now? But considering the scene, I think we're heading to the spinosaurs now.
Is no such thing as safe, much less on an island full of mutants.
Safety does not exist on these islands.
One of these mutants was
just as extinct as these dinosaurs once were.
Result of InGen striving for vertical superiority in an attempt to create a creature that excels at both land and air. These new mutant hybrids were their latest product. Mutadons, measuring at around 16 feet in length and weighing at around 500 pounds. These creatures are heavier than a majority of the other flying animals, and quite frankly a bit too heavy to fly with these proportions, but we got what we got. The very first victim seen in the movie.
Yeah, that's just movie logic. It just works.
Movie to fall prey to the Mutodons was none other than a velociraptor, and was able to make quick work of it. We learned 2 things here, and would have learned more had half the screen not been covered by someone taking a piss. In this case, the Mutodon decided to attack from above with an ambush, leveraging that weight in conjunction with speed to land a blow that knocked the velociraptor flat on its tail.
So what happened to the other one? Because I want to see... I need to look back and... Well, we're probably about to see more.
Secondly, the Mutodon...
Okay, never mind. I was gonna... The question was, what happened to the other velociraptor? Because, like, I was seeing a power scaling debate going on who would win in a fight between a Mutodon and velociraptor, and I'm like, we literally saw what happened here. And then people are just like, if it didn't jump up on them, then it'd probably win. And it's like, didn't it? And I'm like, okay, maybe so, but I still don't see that happening. And even so, didn't it clap a 2v1 with these things, even if it did get the jump? But I need to look back at it to, you know, properly look at and make that assumption first. Yeah. It's kind of hoping I could see that there, but it didn't. Whatever. About the movie, so I can probably look at it at some point.
Relied mostly on its beak and strong neck muscles to repeatedly slam the raptor on the floor, culminating the attack with a shredding bite. Our Riot clone may not even make it that long with a pulse. The hybrid mutant would dive bomb feet first onto the back or chest of the victim, either paralyzing the spine that very instant or worse, sliding its sharp talons down the unprotected torso.
Like, did the impact alone do enough? Was that enough?
So, with his chest cavity exposed, the Mutodon could continue slamming the body if Riot had any fight left in him. But more likely than not, the paralysis caused by the initial blow would let the Mutodon begin tearing into what, for the mutant, was a very easy kill. Number 5.
Blood Bash?
Blood Bash. Ember, the name given to the T-Rex with the chunk in Jurassic World Rebirth.
I love the name they gave it, though. Like, out of all the T-Rex names, that's the coolest one, okay? That's the coolest one. I don't want... There's no debate. Don't even try to debate me. It's got the coolest names out of all of them. Just don't even try.
Absolutely no pushover. Seemingly lazy at times and chasing the Delgados with no hurry. Today, Ember will actually be hungry and will find it worth their while to chase Riot down a makeshift river we made. Let's see what would have happened in the movie had the T-Rex actually tried a little harder to fish out Ruben Delgado. We are all no strangers to the formidable bite force of T-Rex. Now, if you're new here and watching this just for fun, welcome! We'll have you know that a T-Rex of this size with a bite force of at least 8,000 pounds per square inch concentrated on these 12-inch teeth from root to tip would instantly pop someone like a grape in the water.
Your body would just explode. Yeah.
And in this particular fashion, things might be a bit more messy for Riot. If the river is shallow enough, Riot might end up getting pushed downwards as the T-Rex was lunging at the victim. Anything sticking out of the T-Rex mouth would
with them going down like that, T-Rex just scoop them up and swallow them whole. It'll be like,
pressed violently as it bashed against any stone.
That too,
the water would be colored red, polluted by floating organs, fecal matter, bile, and bone.
And Jesus. It's just, Ember's just like, I'm tired of you struggling around and moving. Boom! Right there. Jesus.
That you can't see the full color spectrum here? Yeah, we are too. Blame the community guidelines, but don't worry, we have an alternative.
Patreon.
Here at GoGHQ, we constantly try to improve the quality of our visuals for the betterment of your education and entertainment. This doesn't come without a cost. Making these videos is expensive, and we can't afford to get demonetized whenever these whack guideline moderators get a whiff of our next 10 ways to die videos. So if you do want to see the full colored gory mess, hit join, or find the link in the description, or scan this. This will give you full access to the uncensored version, as well as other fun channel perks. Live streams with the gojicenter team, members exclusive art contests, updates, and even a chance to be in our videos, like Willow here. All funds collected here get reinvested right back into the channel. Alright, enough with that. Let's get back to the carnage. Number 6, Drowned and Quartered. One of the most popular additions to the roster of the new creatures in Rebirth was the Spinosaurus. Returning in both quality and quantity, these Spinosaurus displayed coordination, mutualism with other species, and locomotive prowess. Now, considering how they are almost always in a...
They definitely came back with quite the bang.
group and seem to consider humans priority targets, either as food or potential threat, it's quite possible you would wind up getting attacked by multiple ones at the same time. There are many possible scenarios, but you know we're here to pick the most gnarly. As clone number 6 floats in our tank, the first Spino will snap its jaws shut on its bottom half of the body. Although the Spinosaurus does not have the same biting force of a T-Rex, this bite is still strong enough to shatter limbs. Following the action, and
it's still not going to be pleasant.
Not wanting to miss out on a few calories, the second Spino swims by to bite on the still living
play tug of war with them.
upper torso, smashing the skull beneath its cone-shaped teeth. This tearing motion leaves the surrounding water red with chunks of flesh floating down to the tank floor. Number 7, Pulverized. Now, what could possibly do that? And even worse than a T-Rex. This next creature isn't a carnivore, but rather the animal with the potential to be the most powerful land creature in the entire franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the the Titanosaurus in this franchise.
I get. Is that what it's supposed to? Okay. I mean, they called him Titanosaur in the movie, but we're okay.
Guys, a massive.
You know, just let me know in the comments what the whole thing with that is. Just let me know. Yeah.
Sauropod slapped with a more marketable name makes its debut, featuring
and that's why. Okay.
A very marketable appearance with a not so accurate set of stats. Here's where this part of the episode hits a few variables. Finally, something to rival the Mosasaurus when it comes to size shifting between shots. The most official listings for the Titanosaurus give it a height of just over 15 meters tall. However, on screen, its size tends to increase to anywhere between over 20 meters tall in some shots to ballooning over 40 meters tall in others. This makes the stated 11 or so ton mass even more ridiculous, considering at its largest on-screen size, the mass would be over 3.
Just goes to show. Hollywood directors don't know shit about metrics. Yeah.
1,000 tons. So, what will do the pulverizing? This tail makes up about 18% of its volume.
I mean, getting stomped on, getting whipped by its tail. Yeah, getting trampled.
And is around half its overall length and is relatively thin. This means that any force applied to it is going to be all transferred to this relatively thin area. Exceptionally good for swatting any nuisance from InGen's asset spreadsheet, not so good for our test subject.
Yep. You're gonna get whipped to death.
It was once proposed that some sauropods with thin whip-like tails could break the sound barrier. In truth, they were fast, but a 2022 reevaluation found that it was not near as fast as these bold claims. The more realistic figure was 27 meters per second or 60 miles per hour. So we'll be conservative with the following figures. If the ridiculous 11-ton metric was used, that would still yield 5 meganewtons.
Jesus, a size comparison, right? Which shouldn't be surprising, but god damn. I understand the name now. It's literally a Titan. Yeah. And ignore the dog.
Force, sending Riot flying dozens of meters after.
Probably just barking because of the trash truck going by, yeah.
Being split in two. But this kaiju-sized Titano. Now, granted, we are taking this 3,000-ton Titano visual literally. This produces around 1.565 giganewtons of impact force in optimal circumstances.
Giganewton?
No real point to bore you with the calculations, because Homeboy is getting sprayed all over the facility floor.
Yeah.
No, we aren't kidding. Something with that much force concentrated on this whip would send so much force ripping through a body that it would exceed the structural strength of all their joints down to the fingers and toes. In other words, you would actually explode.
Yeah.
Too extreme? Consider how much force a chomping T-Rex has in just a few hundred kilos of its jaw muscles versus an entire tail of a Titanosaur. Number 8,
yeah,
down
neither of those are things I want to experience, like just... Yeah, no thanks. And this is going to be the Quetzal.
Gullet. One of the most gnarly and disturbing deaths seen in Jurassic World Rebirth was that of Leclerc, the nice fellow who made his exit down the big bird's gullet. Seemingly motionless, perhaps if he was unalived right here, it would have spared him from feeling the tight walls of the esophagus and pool of stomach bile that awaited down below. A far more violent, but at least quicker way to go would be getting pecked. InGen's cats differed from Biosyn's in that this beak was wider and more robust. Still pointed enough to impale lesser creatures and be swung with enough speed to act like a lance. Getting rammed in the back or chest would result in the beak shattering the ribcage and collapsing the lungs. Heart and lungs pushed aside and the arteries shattered. This is a very bloody mess. The aftermath is a corpse with ribs sticking out of the opposite end. Good news is that this method is much faster than getting swallowed, but terrifying for anyone watching. This is actually a scaled-up variant of what some real-life birds like herons can do.
Of course I do.
Number 9.
It's just, of course, yeah. Like, just pick me up and drop me, okay? Just do that. Just do that. Just pick me up and drop me. Like, if I'm going to die from one of those things, just drop me. Just pick me up and drop me.
Tooth grinder.
I think it'll be a quicker way out that way. At least I would hope so.
Another well-received marine creature in the latest outing was Mosasaurus, one who, apart from being the victim of ridiculous size shifting between movies, gave us exquisite kills and sequences in previous movies. In Rebirth, at least, the creators of this film committed to giving this one a massive size upgrade. Measuring up to 100 feet in length, this creature is, according to official estimates, the largest marine predator in the Jurassic universe that we know of so far. Now, given the sheer size of this thing, and if it were to try and eat a human, the victim would have a decent chance of missing most of the jaws and getting swallowed whole. But that's just the first row of teeth. Mosasaurs, like some other closest relatives like snakes, have extra teeth on the pterygoid bone.
Lovely.
These were specifically for helping further shred and grip prey when it went down the hatch. So, if someone, Riot Clone number 9, was fortunate enough to avoid getting crushed instantly by the jaws, he would basically be sent through the shredder on the way down, sliced up and ripped into as the muscles in the jaw would repeatedly stab and grind them against these teeth. Riot is a pretty tough fella, so what if he survives this? Anyone who
would he want to?
Survives would be pushed into the stomach while also bleeding heavily.
Yeah, I think that question has now turned rhetorical.
With acid pouring into the wounds, blood loss, asphyxiation, drowning, whichever comes first. Number 10, distorted.
Oh boy,
no other creature in this list is better at distorting the human figure than the Distortus Rex. Loved and hated by the masses, and would have also been received so had it made its debut in Nublar. This malformed atrocity was still functional enough to breathe, walk, and hunt. Or how else would this thing grow to be 8 meters tall? Part of its success was likely due to its forelimbs, and at the end of these were hands armed with 3 digits, one acting as an opposable thumb. This allowed this animal to reach out, extending its range quickly to ensnare a victim and bring it close to its mouth. From here, we can select from many methods.
Like a Slim
Instantly crushed by the hands if it Hulk smashed smack down hard enough to turn your skull into a pancake. Gripped and squeezed between the fingers until your fluids are forced out of your mouth.
Just squeeze you like that. Give you a little toothpaste. Or just take a little bite off like a Slim Jim. It'll give you the little smackdown right there. It'll maybe pick you up, give you the old toothpaste buster, or just take a bite off the top.
Getting played with like a toy and swung around, mashed against objects until you're bludgeoned to death, getting manhandled, and
turn you into a human maraca,
unalived by a dexterous creature like the T-Rex, or Indominus, or Indoraptor, or Scorpius is certainly one of the worst ways to go. The rule of thumb, if it has thumbs, run.
That would really played the run theme and everything. Is that gonna get me copyright claimed? I don't know. All right, well, that was really enjoyable, and that was really good. I enjoyed it, and if anything, this video is just more reasons on why I would not want to be in the Jurassic Park universe. No thanks, I'm good. I like dinosaurs, but I don't want to get killed by one. No thanks, I'll be fine. Anyways, I'm gonna go and end the video now. So if you enjoyed it, check out the original, which will be linked in the description below. Go support Gojicenter for making this video. He'll be linked down below as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.